Welcome back to the channel. This is Black Cat Crypto Club. Guys, this is your Friday weekly recap. I was actually saying Wednesday that I hoped we had a little bit more news happening this week, and we got it. So we've got news, new news coming out in this Friday weekly recap. So stick around, guys. We are off to a great start this morning. We just hit above 105,000 on Bitcoin's price. A lot going on, guys. There's a lot in the news, so stick around. But before we get into everything, I do just want to hop in and get this out of the way, guys. We have Chicken Butt Microsanctuary this month. We're trying to help these guys out. Please, if you guys have a dollar or two, whatever you guys can spare, please go over and help these guys out. Very, very small micro sanctuary that really any kind of help really helps them out. They've got PayPal, Venmo, and Patreon where you can help support them. I do have all of those links in the description, as well as their Instagram and Facebook links. Even if you can't donate financially anything, go over and give them a like on Facebook or Instagram. Really helps them out as well. But they are a 501c, so if you guys do donate financially, this is a tax write-off, guys. So help yourself, help the animals. Awesome, awesome sanctuary to help out, guys. Okay, so let's get into what happened this week, guys. We started off the week highly in the red, guys. If you remember waking up Monday morning, we went down to $89,000 on Bitcoin's price. Everybody was freaking out, panicking, panic selling. Now, what happened Monday was we saw the dollar hitting a high of 110, and we saw bond yields go up to 4.8%. And everybody, this spooked all of the markets. Wall Street and everybody thought things were completely over. We were going to hit 5% on bond yields, and everybody was losing their mind. And then we saw the dollar correct, and bond yields have just fallen off a cliff. So that's quickly corrected itself. Guys, Tuesday we had PMI, which is a manufacturing economic data, come out softer than expected, and that helped out the price of Bitcoin because it really showed that inflation might not be as bad as everybody thought, with the good job numbers and the good economic data that we had previously, as well as the Fed's hawkish statements on the 18th of December saying that they weren't going to have to cut as many times as they thought. And then Wednesday, we had more good news. This was the big one, guys. This was CPI. Inflation came in lower than expected on many measures. So that was a big one. We saw Bitcoin really jump, and markets in general really pop off of that news, guys. So good economic data as far as jobs, good economic data also as far as inflation. I was saying just the other day on the channel that this is like the optimal combination. We've got good economic data showing that the economy is strong, but we've also got good data saying that inflation isn't as bad as we would have thought with all of this other good economic data. So things just seem pretty prime. Okay, so that was Wednesday, guys. We did also see Wednesday that Trump is planning day one executive orders as far as crypto goes. I think he has 100 or plus executive orders that he's planning on releasing on day one. But there's definitely a few that pertain to crypto. The two that we've heard of Wednesday were that he was going to repeal SAB 121, which was repealed by Congress, but was vetoed by President Biden. He is also looking to direct people as far as Choke Point 2.0 came out. So probably directing the Federal Reserve and the FDIC, etc., on taking the pressure off of banks to debank crypto companies. They've done this with weed companies, which was Choke Point 1.0. Weed companies and other companies that the government really doesn't like. They've actually tried to debank, which makes it really hard to do business. So it's looking like he's going to repeal these SEC accounting bulletins, and he's going to help with the debanking of crypto companies. Now, guys, we have 3 days now until something really, really positive happens for crypto. And I don't know if you guys can guess what that is. January 20th, guys, Gary Gensler is retiring from the SEC. So big news there, guys. I'm sure you guys thought I was probably going to celebrate Trump's inauguration. Guys, in this club, we don't celebrate politicians. Okay, we don't celebrate politicians coming in. We will celebrate Biden leaving. Okay, we will do that, but we're not going to celebrate Trump coming in. Honestly, I've seen quite a bit of really emboldened, just nasty stuff going on around the country since Trump's election win. So, crypto aside, guys, there is quite a bit that Trump is fueling, the fire of a lot of just nasty stuff as well. So we're not going to celebrate that, but we will celebrate Gary Gensler leaving. We will celebrate Biden leaving. So 3 days, guys, that is some super, super bullish stuff for Bitcoin. We're going to have to see as far as what Trump's administration does with crypto. But it's looking good. It is looking good. These executive orders are going to be good. We also are seeing the courts, guys. We are going to jump over to this article. The court in the Coinbase case is now telling, this happened Wednesday, it's telling the courts that they need to explain why they declined Coinbase's request for crypto regulations. We saw that Coinbase won their injunction in this case. So it's being kind of put on pause until the new administration comes in. And then we're going to have to see what happens here, guys. It's honestly expected with the new SEC, with Gary Gensler leaving and the new SEC more crypto friendly. Supposedly, guys, we saw when Gary Gensler came in during Biden's term, we really thought he was going to be crypto friendly as well, because he taught blockchain. He actually said really friendly things about blockchain when he was teaching at MIT. And then he got in and FTX happened, mud on his face. And we've just seen that he's been completely under Elizabeth Warren's control. And it's been a nightmare. So with some cautious optimism, guys, we have a potentially new crypto-friendly SEC coming in. And the expectation here is that a lot of these crypto cases against the or with the SEC against crypto, a lot of these cases are presumably going to be dropped. So really good news there. It's already kind of playing out in this Coinbase case. So that was kind of Wednesday, and I said hopefully we get some more news and I can report on some new things on Friday. Well, guys, we did. Going further into Trump's day one executive orders, guys, we just had news yesterday from Bloomberg that not only is Trump going to repeal SAB 121, not only is he going to advise agencies on choke point 2.0, but now it's being reported that Trump is calling Bitcoin and crypto a national priority, guys. I'm going to jump over to this video, just kind of explaining and going into what that kind of means. Listen in.
And Bloomberg has learned that President-elect Donald Trump is planning to release an executive order elevating crypto to a national policy priority. Still under discussion for inclusion in the order is a directive for all government agencies to review policies on digital assets and pause litigation involving crypto. The order could include the creation of a national Bitcoin stockpile. So, Tom, they've got a whole load of Bitcoin. The reason for it is they've basically taken it as part of investigations and judicial investigations. So they've got some Bitcoin.
They've got $20 billion of Bitcoin sitting in an account somewhere.
Surprised me a little bit. So they could make that into some sort of a national stock. But it's interesting that this is being pushed as hard as it is. It also seems slightly contradictory when you think about what is the other priority of this administration that Bessent was talking about yesterday, which is for the dollar to remain the preeminent reserve currency. In theory, you could argue that maybe Bitcoin is a threat to that. But it does seem as if the Trump administration, Trump himself, very much on board with the idea that the US should make progress here.
Gary Gensler is out, of course, so you'll have an SEC head who will be more favourable towards crypto. Coinbase, executives from other platforms have been donating to the inauguration fund. It all seems to be lining up for more supportive policy for crypto, and Bitcoin's back above 100,000 today.
So it's back above 100,000. I just need to check the GIP2 on my Bloomberg just to see what is going on in terms of the move that we saw higher. Not a big move higher. So I just wanted to check the 2-day. So this sounds incredibly positive in terms of the fact that actually they are going to deliver upon this almost on day one, and it's going to be quite extensive in terms of the impact that it's going to have. Bitcoin, maybe already pricing this in?
A lot of optimism already priced in, but we were comfortably above 100,000 towards the end of 2024. Profit-taking at play, clearly. Bit of a surprise, arguably, when you make this a policy priority on a similar line to energy as a priority and maybe drilling and getting more oil and gas out of the ground. You're putting it on a similar level with that. You have the regulatory changes coming through. It seems possibly this is being priced in, but maybe this is a story that kind of grinds its way higher through the weekend. But clearly crypto is now going to be set for further additional positive catalysts potentially in the weeks ahead.
But to your point, how much of that is already in the price?
There is plenty more coming up.
All right, guys, so there you have it. We have plenty more going up. No, I think we have priced in Trump's victory, his election. But I don't think we've priced in a lot of things that could possibly happen. I don't think, there's no way to price in what would happen if we do get a strategic reserve. And I don't think we've priced in the fact that all of these court cases with the SEC are likely to be dropped. So I think there's a long way to go, guys. We have a long way to go. And, we haven't priced in all of the things that could happen with all of these pro-crypto appointees that Trump has been putting in positions. So a long ways to go, as he said. So, okay, we do have a few more things, guys. Just tonight, there is actually a crypto ball in New York City. This is the inaugural gala, and it's a crypto ball, guys. This is put on by Coinbase and a bunch of other crypto giants. So another bullish thing, guys, crypto industry is seemingly in with the Trump administration. A lot of things are apparently happening. So guys, this is going on tonight. We also do have some really, really big macroeconomic news, guys. This is huge for all markets. And that is that the Israeli Security Cabinet has approved a ceasefire and a hostage deal. Now, this has been a bane on the crypto industry, the entire financial industry, guys, since last year, over a year ago. We've seen, all of this war has really been a burden on all markets. Not to mention the burden, the absolute devastation that this has caused to the people over there. Everyone involved. It's just been a really nasty thing. So this is just the right thing to do. Finally, we're finally seeing some peace talks here, which should be a relief to markets, including Bitcoin. It's been really irritating to see Biden talk one way out of his mouth, saying that we need peace over there, and then ship package of weapons over to Israel. He did nothing to stop this. So hopefully this goes through, guys. This is reportedly possibly going into effect on Sunday. So this could be a huge relief macroeconomically. And again, just really the right thing to do. We want peace over there, guys. So we do have that. That's huge news coming. And I do just want to, one other thing I want to show you guys. For the past starting last Wednesday, we've had 4 straight days of outflows of about $1 billion worth of outflows from the Bitcoin ETFs. And then starting Wednesday this week, we finally started seeing some inflows. Yesterday we saw big inflows, and Wednesday we saw big inflows. But it's been really, really kind of interesting to watch, because BlackRock hasn't been known to have these huge outflows before, and they have just been hemorrhaging. And it's kind of, I celebrate this because they sold and they've now had to buy back at a higher price. So hopefully they've learned their lesson there. But it's good to see inflows coming back in, guys. That will help the crypto price as well. I do want to jump over now to really quickly to the charts and just kind of show you guys what is happening there. This morning we are just, taking off, just sitting right now, just under $100, under 105. But we have topped 105 just a bit ago, as I was saying. In my previous video, I did draw these 2 yellow lines, and I'm going to show you guys what those are. These were resistance lines that we were looking to break. And I drew this one off this local top coming down through. And you can see I drew that when we were right down and around here. And you can see how that played out. We went up, we hit it, we got rejected. We came back up right here, got rejected. And then finally, 3rd time's a charm, we broke through yesterday. And this second line was sitting right at this resistance zone that we put in a lot of confluence there. It acted as resistance there. And then we kind of dropped down here, bounced back up. It was resistance, and that's when we fell back down below. And then, just last week we popped up and it acted as resistance again there. So a lot of that was a very important area as far as resistance short term. But as you guys might remember, if you watched my last video, this is also the level of the 1.618 on the Fibonacci level, dating back clear back to November of 2022, when we put in that high for the cycle for 3-4 years ago. So this was always going to be a really important level, and we've popped above that today. Now, guys, the important thing is we really want to close above this line at the end of today. That would kind of confirm that we are set to break out for further gains to the upside. I think that's really likely to happen. I don't see any reason why we wouldn't, unless something, we get some bad news and we drop back below 102, but I don't see that happening. We did, as you can see, guys, we did just have, we had a cup and handle play out right here, a cup and handle pattern where we had this cup, came back down, and now we're seeing that handle play up. And just to put that in perspective, guys, I'm going to jump out to the daily, because we had a giant cup and handle this cycle, going all the way back to last cycle. And I do want to show you guys that. Zoom clear out, because this was a big cup and handle. This was last November, or November 2022, guys, and you can see we went into that bear market. This was a huge multi-year cup and handle, and we're still seeing that play out. But you can see how this is generally a huge bullish pattern on the charts, and we've just seen kind of a mini version of that play out. Now, I do want to kind of point out one other thing, because there were a lot of bears coming out. Actually, a pretty big, well-known traditional finance chart analyst came out and said Bitcoin is putting in a head and shoulders pattern. So here's the head, shoulder, and a shoulder. And they were all saying that, if this head and shoulder pattern plays out and we break below this neckline, we will be dropping down to $70,000. And I was skeptical about that one, because not only do we have major tailwinds, guys, but a drop down to 70,000 would be over 30%. And we haven't seen that kind of correction. We've seen much less volatility this cycle than we have in previous cycles. So I was really skeptical that we were going to go down that far. We did break the neckline, but we didn't drop down like everyone was saying, guys. We've bounced off 89,000, and we've basically come up now above this shoulder point. We've come up above that, and we've invalidated that head and shoulders pattern. So that is tremendous news as well, because that was a big bear case in the charts, and we've just invalidated that, guys. So everything in the charts is really looking good. Everything in the news is really looking good. 3 days, guys. Biden is out 3 days, and Gary Gensler is Gonsler. And the sky is the limit now. Strap in, because we are going higher. All right, guys, that's been the Friday weekly recap. Thank you so much for tuning in, lending me your ear. And, if you guys can, please remember, go over to my Chicken Butt Microsanctuary and help them out. Really, really appreciate it. And I will see you guys next week.